Happy Devils Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast Sunday edition. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils network. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Shorts Guy from the highest point of New Jersey, but at the lowest point of trying to figure out his tech issues.
It's my altitude sickness from last night.
Oh, shut up. And Beer Baron.
Yeah, buddy.
From the greatest view
from the
on
Gatorade
Earth.
capital of my house.
Yes. Scotty's still in mid-flight right now, but he'll be on, hopefully, a little bit later.
Listen, man.
I think we're all the same, but we're all exhausted.
Exhausted, but feeling great. Like I felt like $1 million last night. That's for sure. I don't know about how today, but you know what? Waking up this morning and just realizing that they won last night, they got those 2 points that they desperately needed. Is such a great feeling. The way they played, the way the team played, the way Nico Dawes played. We'll talk about that. But my God, there's so many people we have to thank. There's so many people that
we do.
We met, that hung out, that was cooking food. That was, by God, it was amazing. It was amazing. Like I'm completely shot. Not gonna lie, I'm very happy I don't have work tomorrow.
Yeah, same here.
What?
Same here.
What?
Yeah.
You guys are geniuses, man. I should have just majored in elementary ed, done something simple. Yeah,
dude. Michael, yes, it's a Gatorade type of day. Not even type of night. It's been a Gatorade type of day.
Although you want to know what, I'm gonna buck that trend, and I am going to celebrate a successful night last night.
Yeah.
With an Ann Crew brew.
Okay. With an Ann Crew brew.
As I just sprayed beer all over the place on my desk, but whatever.
We ran out again.
I know.
That was crazy.
Hey, that was the point. We wanted everyone to enjoy it. We wanted everyone to try it. And I'll tell you what, tastes damn good.
Yeah, and to talk a little bit about last night, I know there was a few people that weren't able to go. That was one of the most incredible. I went to the Yankee Stadium one, and it was cool. It felt like more of an exhibition, even though it was a regular season game at the Yankee Stadium game. This game felt like a home game. This game felt like this was the coolest feeling I've ever been to any game, because outside of like a playoff game or anything like that. Because I want to say the crowd was probably like 80-20 Devils to Flyers. I might be wrong. It could be like right. 70-30 but it felt like it was 80-20.
It felt
in my
like
section there was way more Devils fans.
I
don't know.
Not where we were. Not where we were.
Dude, it was
a lot of Flyers fans.
Loud. It was fun. My shirt came off multiple times.
You don't say. You don't.
I started a trend. I started a trend in my section. I like ripped my shirt off. Or if you watched it show Shorzy or Letterkenny, I ripped my tarp off. And people are like, "You look like Bert Kreischer." I'm like, "I probably let's do what Bert Kreischer does is take his shirt off." And so I did, and I ran up and down the aisle, and then I look over and there's like 4 or 5 other guys that started doing the same thing. So I was like, "All right, there we go, man." Starting trends, and oh my God, what a night! But
from
the way it started, from start to finish, it was incredible.
Yeah,
we should probably tell the story, the start to finish, because
a
lot of people didn't know the behind the scenes, behind the curtains, what happened. And let's start about 6 months ago when we started preparing for this tailgate, because it we were reminiscing old times. Remember, this is before And Crude Brew was even the concept was even thought of, and we knew that this tailgate was going to happen, and there was rumblings that maybe we could get a deal done to have our own beer. This is going back maybe July and August of last year. So we put a lot of thought into it. And how are we going to do it? Everybody knows that at Metlife Stadium, in the parking lot specifically, when you put 80,000 people there, it's impossible to even stream. Almost impossible. So we put a lot of thought into it, the tailgate, what we were going to do. Fast forward, joinourcrew.com was our way to communicate. The concept was not to sell your information to other marketing companies so we can retire. No, the idea was in case something were to happen, we had your email, and we didn't utilize the emergency text message because we know it's a little intrusive, but just in case the spot we picked, because remember, being veterans of Continental Airlines Arena and Brendan Byrne Arena, the NGSCA and the Meadowlands absolutely hate Devils fans from past, and I knew we were going to get screwed somehow.
Yep.
So we had this whole thing planned. Shorts Guy and I went on a rainy, downpour Sunday morning to scout the Meadowlands, which would be the best tailgating spot for our podcast fans and Devils fans. And we selected lot M2 originally. We confirmed it by phone with the Meadowlands, with MetLife Stadium, with our plans, and they said it was okay 2 days prior.
Yep.
Thinking, okay, we're in. Let's just get there early. They let us in early. Not our problem.
Yeah,
they waved us in. We didn't do anything.
They waved us in.
Yeah. They asked
we
where
came
we were
up to the gate, and they're like, "Where are you going?" And we said, "There." And they said, "Okay."
Yeah.
We may have said
All right.
racetrack, but whatever.
Yeah. So we went there.
Racetrack adjacent.
I mean, that's where the racetrack used to be.
Yeah.
So grandstand used to be on that side.
So we got some intel from our good friend from the UK that came over to see us, Justin and his boy Jake. Got
they're
some
awesome.
intel. They're great, and we'll get to some of their comments because they went to both games, but we'll get a little bit later. But as we got there, Vinny, Shorts Guy, and Vinny's girlfriend as well was
Katie.
there. Yeah, Katie, Beer Baron, and we sat there for about 15 minutes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That's part. That part.
Then we started setting up.
Yes.
And pulling everything out of our cars. The flag. We're doing social media. We're doing all this kind of stuff. We're like, okay, we're finally here. It's guaranteed. And then the golf cart came.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was...
But, dude, that dude was
nice.
super nice.
He was good about it. He was good about it.
He was
definitely good
nice,
about it.
and he was very transparent. And we don't even have his name, but he was very cool about it. He's like, look, guys, I'm trying to help you guys. I'm telling them, but they've got guys up on MetLife Stadium
with binoculars.
on the top.
Binoculars.
I was like, wait, we're being spotted by the sniper crew? Like, what the hell?
And they're watching our moves, and we pleaded with them, but it just happens. I don't know if the NHL or MetLife Stadium called an audible, but suddenly it's the media parking, even though they said that we can do it.
Yeah.
2 days prior.
But it worked out for the better.
It
worked out for the better.
Well, I'm telling the story, guys, because people don't know what happened. So what happened was Beer Baron, Katie, and Vinny had to find a new spot, and Shorts Guy and I had to put all the half-set-up equipment, disassemble. We only had 10 minutes. We were only given 10 minutes, by the way.
We were exiled.
Yeah. And put back in our vehicles, which now it's like almost impossible because our vehicles were stuffed with equipment, and then escorted out of the parking lot and back in line, the back of the line.
Womp.
And then it was like 1:45 p.m. The gates would open up at 2 p.m. And then Shorts Guy and I were frantically, along with Vinny, Beer Baron, while they're trying to find a spot to figure out what the new spot is, and doing the social media. And then we did that by the phones of our in our car, and I went with the default email template that says Samuel last name, and that was the email.
Yeah, but by the way, so Sam's doing all this, and this is kind of fun to like do the behind the scenes stuff. But like you're doing all that stuff, you guys are in the comfort of your own car. It's warm, it's toasty. My face has windburn because what people don't realize is when that parking lot is empty, it is a giant wind tunnel. All it is just wind gusting through. I'm standing there holding the metal pole because Shorts Guy has this huge flagpole that we put the podcast flag on the top and a Rangers flag. And the three of us are standing there like a couple of
Rangers
putzes.
suck flag. A Rangers suck
The
flag.
Rangers suck, yeah. And my face this morning, I'm like, why does my face hurt so bad? I'm like, oh, yeah, because I have windburn. So, yeah, it was interesting. But when we got set up, we ended up in a perfect spot.
Yeah.
Durango Steve pulled up next to us. He had a fire pit. That dude, who was our friend that was making the ribs again? Because those are the best damn ribs I've ever had.
Matt, yeah,
those ribs are great.
Oh, my God. They were the best damn ribs I've ever had.
Yep.
He's like, I cooked these with cherry soda and this barbecue heat, honey, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, whatever I don't even know what to tell you. It's melting off the bone. My brother was there all the way from Seattle. My best friend was there. Dude, it was like it was a party from the moment everybody got settled in. I heard like the Brat Pack, they had a huge event down on the other side of the L. There was tailgates. This was so much fun. There was tailgates everywhere. Everybody's having a blast. Everybody's drinking. Everybody's hugging and high-fiving. And this was like 5-6 hours before the game started.
Yeah.
So it was
quick.
Needless to say,
I was nervous, though.
it was amazing.
I mean, I was nervous because I didn't know what to do at that moment when we're like, crap, we gotta call an audible. And everything, our plan B, everything this – I mean, remember, some of us woke up with 6 to 8 inches of snow out of nowhere, before the game. So we're shoveling. Mm-hmm. I got to Beer Baron's house an hour later. Not too bad.
Which worked out because I still had to shovel myself out.
Yeah. Then we had to go to Ace Hardware.
Who shovels?
We had to go to Ace Hardware.
Well, who shovels when your freaking snowblower takes a dump?
Yeah.
That's who shovels.
Yeah. Doing everything we can, and I was like, oh, this is not good. Bad omen. But we kept on going. We soldiered forward. And then getting to the new spot, and I was confused because a lot of people came up to me, and I tried to get the podcast up and running, but all of the equipment was kind of like half of it was in Shorts Guy's truck, half of it was in mine. It was total disarray. Wild. So if you saw all these wires hanging around, I didn't know where anything was, and it was a totally different.
Some girl thought you were just a DJ.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some Flyer fan thought I was a DJ.
And you're like,
DJ Sam Lou.
Shorts Guy, come over here and help her out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
talk to her.
Shorts Guy and I walk over. We walk over and we're like, what's going on? She's like, can he play some like whatever the heck song?
I don't even know what she was talking about.
Yeah,
Meek Mill, I think she said. And I was like, no, he's not a DJ.
Of course you would pick someone from Philly.
Well, yeah, I mean, it would seem so. I was like, this is not a whatever. So I found out something today. My brother and I were driving, and we were listening to the pregame of the trash bag event that happened today. Yep. And
got some intel on that too from Justin, by the way.
Yeah, which I'm kind of curious to hear how it went. My friend that went there, she said it was amazing. I was like, there's no way it compared to last night. There's no, and that's not being biased. It just felt, I was watching on TV. It's just a different feel. Nighttime game. Mm-hmm. It just, it's a different feel. But anyways, so the Rangers are away right? They're the away team. They were the away team when they played the Devils and the Islanders at
They
Yankee
have to be.
Stadium, and they have to be. And I didn't know this until now that
Yep.
MSG has this clause that if they are the home team, that they would forfeit their tax exemption. So
Yep.
if they claim to be the home team at an event that's not, it's either the Knicks or the Rangers. If they do it outside of the MSG forfeits their tax exemption.
Yep.
So how do we make it next time these guys play an outdoor game, which will happen again? How do we convince somebody to accidentally make them the home team?
Make the Rangers the home team.
Well,
that would be
you know,
hilarious.
we
I know
need
that's never going to happen.
we need to file a frivolous lawsuit right now because they played the Rangers goal song at the game today. And,
They did.
And to me, that indicates it was a home game.
Wait, did they play the Flyers goal song last
No.
night when they scored or no?
No.
I don't think so. No.
No.
It
And
was
how-
Adam Hamway
Dude,
just very blandly announcing. Although
Yeah.
from the sound system last night was pretty terrible.
From
yeah,
up
you
where-
could hear
up-
that video.
up where you were. Row two was pretty good.
I'm sure
all
Row
right
2
there,
was
Mr.
really good.
All
I'm
right
sure.
there, Mr.
Yeah.
Daddy Warbucks.
I'm sure Row 2 was good. But, up where we're watching the helicopters fly below us as we're trying to see what are supposed to be giant numbers on these jerseys, which you couldn't see from, the upper reaches of the atmosphere. It was like a garbled mess when it came to some of the sounds.
Yeah.
dude,
Well,
you know what?
Truth be told, how I ended up in row 2 was a good friend. First off, my good friend Durango Steve
Steve
underestimated how many tickets he had, so he was one short. So I graciously gave him my ticket, and a good friend of the podcast who remained nameless had another ticket. It just happened to be row 2 behind the Jonas Brothers. So that's
Just happened to
how
be.
I got there. It's not that,
just happened to be.
yeah.
Yep.
You know, it's
Meanwhile,
funny. It's
I was with the rabble up top.
With the peasants.
Yes. Yes.
I've never been to MetLife, even though I'm a Giants fan. I've never gone to a Giants game live at MetLife. And when we walked in, so we're on this side of the stadium, and I didn't realize that we were behind the end zone on the opposite side of the stadium. So we walk in, and I'm like, all right, well, where's our section? And first of all, at this point, everybody kind of put 2 and 2 together. 98% of the people that were walking into that stadium at that point were tuned up. Unless you were waiting to go, you went in early to go see the Jonas Brothers, which that's kind of funny because there was a selection of people that were only there, from what I hear, to see the Jonas Brothers, and they're like, we went to a concert and a hockey game broke out. But I walked in, and it took us forever to find our seats. We had to walk around the stadium, and every time you were walking a corridor, they're like, "Oh no, that's a dead end. You have to walk back. You have to go upstairs."
They do
downstairs.
have weird dead ends. They do have weird dead ends in there.
It is not like a big continuous circle like I thought it was going to be, and I got confused multiple times. We had to stop and ask a beer vendor, and she's like, "Yeah, welcome to MetLife because this is the hardest place to get around." And I'm like, "Okay, so it's not just me. I'm not like a drunk moron. It's an actual situation." She's like, "Yeah, if you came in on the wrong side, it's a pain in the butt to walk around." But either way, being in the stadium, sitting at the game, it was such the whole place. Nico starting it off with a goal, setting the tone.
So good.
Set the tone, boys.
It was so good.
It was perfect. It was perfect. And from that point on, I felt comfortable with the game. There's been many games this year where the Devils get a lead, and I'm like, you kind of uneasy. And it's the calming presence of Nico Dawes. There's something about him in the last stretch that he is just playing with this confidence. I mean, he set a record for most saves in an outdoor game.
I'm curious if that was broken tonight, though. I have to look at that.
Yeah, but
I saw that.
Yeah,
there were a lot of shots on goal tonight. So you talk, I'll look.
Okay, so I know he said it last night. The Ranger game, it ended 10 seconds into overtime. So the last time I saw him with 4 minutes to go, he had 42 shots on goal, or the Islanders had 42 shots on goal or something.
Yeah,
But
the Islanders had 41. They had 41, so that means Shadurkin made, what is that? 536 saves. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to check because I saw it. Like I saw that there was an absurd amount of shots. So
Yeah. I like Dino says that Messier fake guarantee and the Stefan Matteau goal have aged poorly those last 30 years. It did age poorly. You know why? Because I listen. One of my favorite things, not only just bumping into people that were fans of the podcast, there were a lot of really cool Flyer fans there last night.
There were. I got to give them.
There were a lot of. There were a lot of
some jack wagons too.
But, for sure.
There were a lot of cool ones. A lot of good people. I know that I know Scotty should be signing on soon, but him and I kind of looked at each other, and I saw that stupid intro again today on TV, if I can talk, that they showed with Tommy Cutlets saying, "Oh yeah, there's been a lot of, oh man." He's like, he comes out there and he says something to the effect of, promises, a lot of hockey on the other side of this parking lot, and some promises, and then they pan in and it's Mark Messier, and he's like, "Sorry, Jersey." It's like, Scotty and I just kind of looked at each other, and we looked at Vinny. We're like, "What the hell do they have this guy on here for? Like, why? Why do you need to do this? Celebration of Jersey, not that guy." It's like, it was annoying.
It's super annoying.
Well,
super annoying.
If you watch the game today, the announcer is obviously a Rangers fan, just the way he was glowing about him. So.
Oh my God, that was last year in the playoffs. Whenever the Devils played, I forget the name of the announcer. He was such a Ranger homer. McDonough.
Yeah.
It was so brutal to listen to. Mm-hmm. Like the Devils would score and he'd be like, "No, well, they got lucky to get that one. I can't believe, blah, 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 blah."
How's that legal?
Anyways,
Yeah,
exactly. I'm surprised that wasn't a game misconduct.
Oh, but did you catch? Now, I don't want to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up.
Okay.
PK, I love PK.
PK was great.
McDonough was pointed out. McDonough said that both Carter Hart and McLeod. Now, did they take an indefinite leave of absence or were they suspended? Because he said on air that they were suspended.
I don't know.
I don't know if he was wrong or was he right or something. I don't know. I caught that, but the way how snarky it was when he was saying it was sounded almost like it was just a little.
They're
awkward.
out of contract apparently. From the last I heard, they're out of contract. So
they've been released. They've been released from their team.
Yeah.
They've been
released from the team. But why bring that up? Like, why bring that up, though? Like, why bring that up?
That's the point I'm trying to make. It's like...
Yeah, no, you're right. Why bring that up? That's so stupid.
Yeah, so, that kind of... I wonder if he's going to get a call from the league on that because that was...
maybe they'll suspend him so he can't call any more games because it was...
God.
Did you guys watch the replay? And for those that are friends that are... By the way, thank you to everybody that was at the podcast, the live podcast yesterday.
Hey!
Dude flies home today. Flies home today and makes it on the podcast. What an American hero, Scotty.
Just coming in.
Just coming in, recovering from altitude sickness.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, how those arms feel.
Oh, man. Boy, are these arms tired, yeah.
And poor Scotty was actually battling a cold the entire weekend too.
I was. I didn't drink. I drank tea all weekend there at the game. Yeah. So I was proud of myself for living through there. But oh my God, I didn't. God, is that Bert Kirshner there?
Hey, Bert Kreischer's the name, and
Kreischer, whatever his name is.
Yeah, we talked about
Kreischer,
that.
friend of the podcast.
Are you gonna take your tarp off?
No, tarp's staying on, bud. Tarp's staying on. And listen,
okay.
Many people know it's called a tarp. It's not just me, and it's also from the show Shoresy. But you know how I could tell you were drinking tea all day is because every time I did something, I look over and there's a disappointed head shake of Scotty just going, "What are you guys doing?" Short guy will be We were having fun, and I look over
every
and
second of that.
there's Scotty just going like, "You guys are you're being bad again."
I enjoyed every second of it, 100%. I'm enjoying the 55-degree weather that we have here now in Los Angeles, as opposed to the -5 that was yesterday out there at the Meadowlands. But no,
it's 32 right
now. What? 32?
32 currently. Yeah, it was not 32 last night. I will tell you that it was a little chilly last night. I could feel the nip in the air.
Couldn't feel it though. Couldn't feel
58.
It.
Sorry, 58. 58 here on the old phone. Yeah.
That's got to feel like a 90s, like the 90s after spending all that
yesterday.
Man, I just said that. I was just like, it feels like it's midsummer right now. So yeah, feeling
you should walk
wonderful.
around with your tarp off. Go outside, rip the tarp off. Go for a little jog around the block, bud. Do a little victory lap.
I think that was probably one of my favorite moments. Was I turned and Beer Baron coming, he's like, "Hey, everyone keeps telling me I look like Bert, so I'm gonna take my shirt off. I'm gonna do it. What the hell? I'm just gonna do it. It's gonna be fun. Let's do it. Let's do it." And then he goes and he does it. So I was totally fine with it.
Your impersonation to me, I have this like super thick, weird Jersey accent out of nowhere. I'm like, listen, here's the plan. Actually, it was our good friend
Max.
After
you get drunk.
Our good friend Max.
After you get drunk, yeah.
Our good friend Max. It was him and his family. It was Max and his brother and his dad, I believe, and they were like, "Dude, you look like Bert." And I'm like, "Okay, I hear it a lot." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." And he goes, "You should take your shirt off." And I go, "Maybe I will." And that was it.
What did he call it? He called it a shirt?
No, most people do call it a shirt, but you just call it a tarp.
Okay,
yeah, take off the tarp.
Right.
And the best.
And did we talk about you mid-game as well?
Oh yeah, we talked about that too. And then I started a trend. There was like 4 or 5 other guys around us that started doing the same after I did it. So just saying, trend setting. Tarps off, boys.
Well,
let's get it
what
going.
did I miss here? Because I heard
setting the tone.
I heard Sam Wu was on a roll. So what did I miss? What were we on a roll about?
No, he was just explaining
the story of yesterday.
Yeah, how yesterday
the challenges.
But
it was amazing.
We were talking as you came amazing. On. We were talking about
big team effort.
Yes,
we were talking about the. That was one hell of a team effort. We were talking about the broadcast. So. Obviously, being at the game, you're not privy to the live broadcast unless you're one of those guys that's in their 70s who has the walkie-talkie or the Walkman on, watching a live game, listening to a broadcast. But even
the old
still,
transistor with the antenna.
I got home
out there,
the old box TV, and they're like, "I'm going to watch it here." It's like, it's right in front of you, Dad. What are you doing? Anyways,
there is one thing I can complain about that stuff, though. I don't know if Sam or Shorts Guy or if anyone's talked about it. I know me and Shorts Guy, when we were up at the top of Mount Everest watching the game from where Sam Wu got his tickets from his select, season ticket special, holders edition. Where the helicopters were below us flying around the stadium. That's probably the only thing I can really complain about is, what the hell was with the Messier? I get it that it's an ESPN game thing.
Yeah, we were just talking about it. I'm glad you brought it up. Yep.
Yeah, like me and Shorts Guy just looked at each other. We're like, what the hell are they doing? Like, why would they even do that?
They showed it
today?
Before today's game.
Today's at least is a Rangers game. I can see that.
Yeah.
Like yesterday's is like, what are you doing?
I know. It was absurd, and like you said, you and I both had this look of like just utter confusion as we're looking at each other, like what the hell?
Yeah.
What? Like what the hell?
Watching from the Washington Monument.
From the Washington Monument. Sam Wu's got the hookups on the tickets, and then later do we know that he's down in the heated section. Row 2.
Caviar.
He just says row 2. He doesn't tell us what section. He says, "Hey guys, come down. I'm in row 2." Oh, row 2 where? Where is this row 2 that you speak of that we don't know about?
Sam was in a section where they give out bathtub mint juleps in a bowler hat with a plum floating in it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what we were saying. We figured he had his shoes off, probably his toes up by the fire and everything, just relaxing, having a good time.
I was with the Jonas Brothers down there. They had the fire.
You were by the fire.
Yeah. It was nice and warm. all the teeny boppers surrounding me. You know, are you a Joe Bro? I was like, what?
You're Joe Bro. Are you Joe Bro? I'd have been like, no. Okay, but okay. Here's another thing. So what we were leading into when you jumped on is, so we'll get into the actual game in a little bit outside of all the shenanigans. I got home last night and I was coherent enough to watch the replay and watch the goals, because obviously, you know, you could see it, but like even in the first goal, Nico's goal, I didn't even know he scored at first because the way he cut away from the net, and it didn't look like he was celebrating. And then there was such a delayed reaction from the crowd that everybody's like, oh, hey, he scored it. And it was like, yeah, and everybody went nuts. But watching the replay, the telecast sounded horrible. Horrible. They're talking through. They're like mid-conversation. It's just like they're like, oh, blah, blah, oh yeah, Toffoli just scored. So anyways, tell me a boring story about pumping gas. Huh, yuck, 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 yuck. New Jersey, yuck, yuck, yuck. Is it pork roll or is it shut up and just announce the game? For the love of God. It is the most annoying thing in the world. They have the worst broadcast.
They're not even
stupid.
funny. They're not even
It's
funny.
not. It's not funny. We're not, first of all, we're not the only state that doesn't allow us to pump gas. We're like, oh, if you leave New Jersey,
there's one other
to
one.
Pump gas.
There's one other one.
Stupidest conversation. Oh my Lord. And then it's just like the whole Messier thing. It's like it's so brain dead. What moron was sitting in the edit booth like, hey, you know what would be really funny if we brought Mark Messier? And he goes, sorry, Jersey. Sorry for us winning 3 cups after you won that one. You have won in like 80 years. So stuff it.
Well, him personally has got a little more than one, but the Rangers, yes.
Yeah, the Rangers.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't get. I was just like, come on, guys, like know the room here, you know, like I mean,
read the room.
Yeah, they were talking.
I was just gonna say, it's not like the Flyers fans have like any love for him either, you know. It's just like that's just like universal hate all around right there, you know. Like, come on.
They were talking about that before today's broadcast about how he got booed last night, and
of course,
he was like, and he's like, oh yeah, but I got my people here today or something stupid like that.
Oh, cram it! I hate them.
Yeah.
I hate them so much.
By the way,
they couldn't
Beer
even
Baron
beat the Islanders in regulation today. They had to let the Islanders get a point.
By the way, Beer Baron, Tom.
He's gonna take his tarp off.
Tom was just saying, Tom was just saying you're going on a short guy style rant. Beer Baron doing a short guy style rant right here, according to Tom. So,
and I will say,
Bert Kreischer is going to come out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't tell you how many people stop shorts guy as well, being like, dude, I can't believe you're wearing shorts right now, man. I can't believe you're doing it, bro.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing, man. I don't know how you're doing it, but yo, props to you, man. Props to you.
Yo, you're a real North Jersey guy. This is a real Northeastern guy right here. And then
shorts guy was like Ric Flair living his gimmick, you know, like that's what was going on there.
And then
I kept turning. I'm like, do you need heat packets? Do you need to like? He's like, nah, I'm okay. I feel a little chilly, but you know, it's all right. I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
He's wearing shorts. This guy's not wearing his tarp. Sam is in the heated section, and me and Vinny are freezing our asses off over there.
Well, Vinny should be used to it. He's at least from a cold weather city. You're the one that was struggling with the, with the thin blood over there coming from the warm climate.
Scotty, what the hell? Scotty, you wore like a jean jacket and a scarf. I'm like, what are you doing?
No, I had that North Face jacket that I put on eventually, you know, like I was just waiting for the sun to go down to put that. I was like, let me last until the sun goes down and then I can put on another layer of warmth there. Did anyone did we mention the Nico bomb that he dropped there during the
everybody's talking about it right now in the group chat, we did
not
everybody on YouTube Live and Facebook Live. What's going on, everybody across all our streaming networks? But yes, that was great. And he did the hoop.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what?
and then Yager did it
I missed
today.
it.
Yager dropped a bomb today on the
he did?
national broadcast. Yeah.
I missed it because even from down in the rich person section where Sam was that I was able to sneak into, the sound system was still pretty terrible downstairs as well. The sound was just not good last night.
And who is this over here? Dino? No. Lundqvist was not there because he's on the TNT broadcast, and this was all ESPN. So you had
Mm-hmm.
Messier, and you had PK, who was having a good time.
Yep,
so that was
Thank
good.
God. I love PK. Props to PK Subban. I will defend that dude all day long because he carries the Devil's flag. And
he does.
Having the fact that there at least is somebody there that can like swat away the Messier crap and be like, bah, 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 bah. But PK he's the man, dude. He still loves his team so much.
He slid a comment in today as the Rangers were walking out. All of a sudden you hear, they're talking this and that. All of a sudden you hear PK go up. Here come the Rags, as the Rangers are walking out. And then he immediately must have realized what he said because he started to compliment their jerseys like right afterwards. But I actually backed it up. I'm watching it. I'm watching it live. I'm like, wait a minute, did he really just say that? And I backed it up and played it again. I'm like, he did, and I backed it up just to read. And I'm like, I have to capture this before they edit this little part out. So I took a video of my TV of him saying, "Here come the Rags."
I love it.
I needed to get it.
Real quick.
And Nico's fine. Who cares? Like he let it slip. He was just excited, and I'm glad. You know what?
He was in the moment.
Yeah,
he was in the moment.
They're having a great time.
I cannot wait until he does that after he wins the Stanley Cup for us. That's
dropping all sorts of F-bombs.
And you know what?
He thinks
he's been leading by example. I mean, the captain has been coming through. I mean, he's been putting points on the board consistently. As we know, Timo Meier struggling. Jack Hughes really hasn't found that Jack Hughes type of groove yet since he's been back. Off of IR. It's really been Nico and Jesper Bratt that have been guiding this team, through this adversity. And in the recent weeks, man, Nico Hischier has really stepped it up. That goal 30 seconds into the game, even though it took the sound about 20 minutes to travel to where Shorts Guy and I were sitting up in the Mount Everest section of MetLife Stadium.
Oxygen mask.
Yeah. We had to do that. We had climbing gear.
Yep, we had. It was quite the trek to get to the top of Mount.
You guys are
Metlife
so dramatic.
Giant Stadium.
You're so dramatic.
Sam, what are you talking about? They had to have
open.
Sherpas. They had to have Sherpas bring him up to the top. I think they were taking bodies. If he died up there, they would have just left their bodies.
They would just left us.
It would have been like
frozen up there at the top of
Look, I had to walk 21 rows down to my seat.
Downhill.
If Shorts Guy got hypothermia and died, he would have been a landmark at Giant Stadium. Just be like, if you see a dead body with the shorts on, make a left over there. Your seats are 5. Because Lord knows the signage in that place was no help. But Scotty, I don't.
Did you guys have the warming stations, or was that only up on the upper level for us?
That was only by you guys. That was only
we had
warming stations.
Warming stations, literally.
Public
that's what they were
warming
called.
stations.
Public warming stations. Yeah.
Listen, I have to say,
I walked by there. I walked by one of them in between the second and third, and it was just crammed to capacity of people that were just like probably they've had enough of the cold. And I looked at them like, yep, nope, I don't need to be in an enclosed area with that many people anymore. I am happy walking around just to get warm that way.
I would have walked in. So who's got COVID? And warm myself up. But, in the section, I was sitting behind the end zone. And, Scotty, when I got to the stadium, it was, like, almost impossible to find where we were sitting. Like, we entered, the wrong side. And it, like, we had to go around. It was, like, this labyrinth. Just at one point, I'm like, just send a note to my family and then tell them I love them if I never see them again. But then, like, when we got there, we walked in and we walked behind the Jonas Brothers. So it's going to be one of those obscure bands that could check off my bucket list of like, all right, I've seen Lionel Richie at a firework festival once. Saw the Hanson Brothers by accident in Disney World one time. I was hammered and we just walked down. Hey, listen, it was a fun time. My wife and I went drinking around the world. And if you've ever done that before, it's a lot of fun. But, boy, you got to be careful.
And then
there's a band playing. And, there's a band playing. I'm like, I need to sit down. Let's go sit down in that shaded spot because there's like 6 people there. And they were all thinking the same thing, just find a shady area. And I sat down. And I'm like, holy crap, I think that's Hanson. And sure enough, they played Oopop, and I'm like, there you go. Just mark it off the weirdest band I've seen in my life right now. But saw the Jonas Brothers for 5 seconds, but I thought it was so cool that they had Gaslight Anthem actually at the stadium playing live whenever the Devils scored.
Oh, that
and
was
the
great.
fact that they scored six
cool.
times, and we got to hear
yeah.
them play it 6 times. That was badass.
There was.
I think they should. I see Oleg on here saying Overkill should have played. Yeah, we should have like Overkill, Dillinger Escape Plan, Less Than Jake,
gosh.
Bouncing Souls. We should have just had like a whole big like metal punk hardcore like fest going on there. Like, yeah,
and there's plenty from Jersey. There's plenty from Jersey. We could have had such a killer lineup with.
He froze.
He's back.
Dolan was like, "I'll get you, shorts guy."
yeah, James Dolan.
I like the Max Weinberg.
That was cool.
Max Weinberg, that was awesome.
And that was Clarence Clemens' son, the old saxophonist from E Street, Jake, who knows play there. Maybe we get John Stewart next time. He's a proud New Jerseyan, so maybe we'll get him next time.
He might be I think he's a Ranger fan, though.
Is he? I don't.
I think he might be.
I got to double check. I don't know about that one.
Eli Manning is a Devils fan.
Eli Manning. There we go. And Antu. Yes, the bathrooms were warm as well. That was another trick. The line to the bathrooms wasn't to go to the bathroom. It was just to go in there where it was heated on in the Mount Everest section where we were there.
Yes.
When I went to the family bathroom,
Scotty could actually see his apartment from the top of MetLife Stadium. He walked up there and he goes, "Oh crap, there's my place."
I actually got burnt from the firework that would go off the top. You know, like it burnt off a little bit of the back of it. Like, whoa.
You got up to the top of the stadium. You were able to prove the flat earthers wrong by pointing out the curvature of the earth.
The curvature was there.
At the top.
Shorts guy did a pull. I told you, Shorts guy jumped on the helicopter. He did a pull up or two, and then he just stopped back down.
I did. I was like, oh look, the helicopter's right there. Watch this, and I did a couple pull ups on the helicopter, and I just very gracefully went back to the seat.
Yeah, right back.
Sir, are you wearing shorts?
No, it was a phenomenal event. It really was. The tailgate aspect of it, brought back a lot of memories. I know, for me personally, I know you guys as well. I mean, we talked about it yesterday, but just what did he say over here?
No, he said Earth is flat. No such thing as other planets. Carry on. We are the center of the universe. Everything evolves around us. Flat.
Those stars out there, it's just a backdrop like the Truman Show. That's it,
That's right.
Yep.
That's more believable than anything else. Oh, man.
No, but it was a really good day. I mean, Jonas Brothers, whatever, but, I get what they were trying to do and kind of Taylor Swift the NHL and, bring that pop presence and try to get some new fans and stuff like that or get some more eyes on it. So, okay, we still had Gaslight Anthem play, so that was nice. Max came out there in the beginning. He rocked out on the drum kit a little bit.
That was cool as hell.
Yeah. So there was definitely, I mean, that's something with Jersey, though, man. Jersey's definitely a rock and roll state. So it was good to see a lot of like music like that being represented, and then, hey, maybe another 5-6 years we get another one. And like I said, maybe we get something crazy like Dillinger and Bouncing Souls playing, man. That would be
sick.
Woo!
I'll tell you what, though, it was perfect because towards the end of the game when the Devils scored one of those late goals, maybe in the empty net, whatever it was, the Flyer fans were all just leaving en masse, and as they're leaving, Gaslight's playing Howl, and everyone was just watching them walk up the aisles, just going, "You suck" to all the Flyer fans at the perfect time as they're walking out. It's like, you guys should have at least waited until the song was over to avoid the gauntlet. No, they don't know.
Yeah,
they don't know.
And there's our buddy Tom there. Yeah. Jonas Brothers were okay for his daughters, so there you go.
Yeah,
that's
Tom stopped by the podcast, gave me a cigar. Thank you, Tom.
Yes.
That was man, we saw so many fans that we see the usernames on here. Now we can actually put like a face to the username, which is amazing.
Yes.
So,
yeah. God, that food. Oh, the food! I can't stop thinking about all the food. Scotty came with 12 feet of sub. Let's talk. Have we not talked about that yet? And I put on my arm. I'm like, The Submarino. I put my arms out, and we put both sandwiches on there, and
we're trying to carry over everything. And Beer Baron's like, I've been working out. Just give me both of them right here. I'm just gonna put my arms out like this. Just give me both of them. I'm like,
did I not deliver?
You did it.
I did it.
You did it. And we were
carrying sandwiches.
When we were walking down, the parking lot, everyone's like, "Whoa, where's that going? Where's that going?" Come on over to the old park.
It was like scavengers. It was like
people have never seen a sandwich before. I could that blew my mind for a second because I'm like, listen, if we had like this tray of various smoked meats and like skewers and things like that, and people are like, "Whoa, what the hell? Where'd you get that?" Or like a pig on a pit or a spit or whatever it's called. If we had something like that, I get it. It was 2 giant subs. You can go over to freaking Jersey Mike's to get that. Like,
dude,
I don't know.
That's Jersey,
people
though.
Are amazed by
you see a sub in Jersey, you're like, "Oh, big sandwich."
And
all right,
good.
Where's that? Hey, whoa, hey.
Hey,
I can
that's
smell
a big
the
sandwich.
vinegar. Oh,
hey.
And yes, Steven, so they forgot to cut it. Just subs in Greenbrook. How did you forget to cut all the subs?
Oh, yeah.
But we had that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
2 more feet, and I can fit it in the fridge.
Max, dude, Max just got home. Good Lord. Are you hiding that thing behind the radiator?
There's Max.
That's a great episode.
I think the mayonnaise is starting to turn.
Yeah. Dude, we got to meet Max's brother. We got to meet Max's dad. It was so cool, man. It was like such a good time.
Max and his family brought this really awesome chocolate Baileys. It was just really good.
I saw it.
So good.
I saw everyone taking sips of it, but I did not partake in it. But I heard it was delicious.
It was very good.
It was amazing.
And then, of course, Durango Steve had his mudslides.
Mudslides,
and all these are the reasons that I feel the way I feel today.
And the Ann Cruz.
That was amazing.
Stew, yeah.
Oh, man.
That was incredible. Holy cow.
I told my mom about that today. First of all, I saw my parents earlier today, and their first question was, "So have you thawed out yet?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty good now." Drained the hot water heater when I got home, but I'm thawed out. And I was telling my mom about the Ann Cruz stew, and she's like, "I will make it." I was like, "All right, this is good."
Dude, that was delightful. That was delightful.
It was so good.
That was delicious. And we found out Max's brother was a closet Jonas Brothers fan. Remember when he unzipped his jacket? He had that big Jonas Brothers shirt on? Yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't happen, but whatever.
Tarp
would have been right off. Imagine what it'd be like if you did.
That tarp would have been right off.
That tarp would have been right.
Take that tarp, take it right off. Oh, man. The best part about that whole thing is, like, when we were doing the podcast, like, when I took my shirt off, all I hear is Sam go, "Here's Chico." And I go, "Oh!" And I, like, ran away.
Yeah, we noticed.
You
disappeared. You disappeared.
Yeah, because I was like, "Oh, great. Now I'm going to go find my shirt and put it back on." And then walk casually up to Chico and be like, "How you doing?"
But then everyone starts shouting at Chico to take it off. This is probably the one and only time that anyone has ever chanted to Chico, "Take it off."
Bert.
Oh, man.
Bert here.
Hey, Chico was looking slick.
Good.
He had some nice threads on, that fancy jacket and everything, and he was looking good.
Get through the parking lot after. If you were watching a podcast, but you didn't see to the left of what was going on, because Nick Villano and I picked up the headsets and we put them on. Sam was like, "I gotta escort Chico back to wherever he has to go."
Yeah, good luck.
Like, okay. He walked 2 feet, and then people were like, "Chico, Chico, Chico," like taking a million pictures. And I'm like, I'm looking over at this, and I'm like, we're going to have to hold this fort down for quite some time, because Chico's not going anywhere and Sam's not coming back for quite some time. And that was like right towards the end, like right as we're getting ready to go in.
No. You thought it was, but then when you looked at your watch, you're like, "Oh, wow, it's only 6:30. We have another 90 minutes out here before the game starts." That was at the moment when Chico left. I was just like, I don't think I could feel my toes right now. Like that was the moment where I was like, I need to go and like get the heat warmers actually in my my slip-on Vans that I was wearing. So Beer Baron didn't have a shirt on. Shorts guy had shorts. I had my slip-on Vans on.
Nick Villano was wearing a dress shirt.
Yes,
Nick
he was.
was walking around with just a dress shirt on. If that dude, I bet you has a full-blown cold today. We should call him up and be like, Nick, how you feeling? He's going to be like, I'm fine, you guys.
I'm fine. It was no problem. I made it right through.
There's nothing.
There's nothing. Sam Wu was out there. He's no hat, no gloves, or nothing. I'm looking at Sam. I'm like, oh boy.
Hey,
it's gonna be bad later.
Yep.
Sam, I got to say, my parents watched the majority of the podcast yesterday, and they had one comment for you.
What?
They had one comment for you.
Uh-oh.
They said, every time we saw Sam, and my parents have known Sam for a very long time, so it's not like they don't know him. They're like, every time we saw Sam, he was eating.
He's like, Mrs. Wu is listening.
That was all decorations. That's all decorations.
Yeah.
I was just, if someone's going to give me
those were props.
Food, if someone's going to give me food, I'll plug it.
Yeah, you were the Brad Pitt. You were the Brad Pitt character from Ocean's 11.
Always Rusty, eating in every scene. Yeah,
just Rusty just eating in the background the whole time, just eating. I have to say a big shout out to my brother Mike, who he's the whole reason I'm a Devils fan. Like growing up as a kid, like he brought me into hockey, made me a huge Devils fan. He came all the way out from Seattle just for this game. We got to see a couple games this week. At one point on the podcast, there's everybody was really cool around us except for this one really annoying Flyer fan, and she came up and she was trying to be rude and cursing at us and F the Devils and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
Her boyfriend was trying to like wrangle her in a little bit, but he was trying to so they were starting to escalate a little bit. And Nick, God bless him, I love Nick to death. He did not help the situation whatsoever because he goes, "We can't hear you, and your opinion doesn't matter," and turned his back to him. I'm like, "Oh my God!" I'm waiting for that girl to just spill her beer on the whole setup. And my brother casually walks over. My brother's like the most jovial person, especially when he's been drinking. And he walked over and he's like, "Man, why don't you guys just move it along and just why don't you get the hell out of here?" So thank you to my brother for being our unofficial bouncer for the day. Although I see Hans from across the parking lot, this 9-foot dude that we all know, and I'm like, "Where were you? Where were you? The biggest, most intimidating guy we have, and you're nowhere to be found."
Who I somehow forgot. I forgot I met Hans at the last time that I was back in, and he looked at me. He's like, "How did you not
he was
remember
mad at
me?"
that.
And I'm like,
"How could you forget? How could you forget?"
Now I will never forget. Forget.
For as tall as Hans was, Scotty, I would say that our seats were much taller and much higher than Hans's height.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Everest desk. Well, I'm glad we didn't lose Shorts Guy, myself, or Vinny. We're not still frozen up on the top of MetLife Stadium
just
over
there.
But look like, there is one thing that we did miss. There's one thing that we did miss last night, and
yes, we did.
What's that?
It's something that we really love, and it's something that all the fans really love as well. And I'm getting a note. All right, I'm getting it from Mrs. Wu. She is in my ear right now, and she is telling me that we need to go to the Displeasure Palace dungeon in Mrs. Wu's basement for a Let's Go Devils game update with the king of the football calls himself, Sam by God Wu.
This game update is brought to you by And Crew Brew. And Crew Brew, where we make winning memories together, one crew at a time. Devils, Flyers, Metlife Stadium, baby, at the Meadowlands. Third quarter, Devils driving down the field. Marino, back to pass. He throws to Jesper Brett, but he laterals to Escher, to the 20, 10, touchdown Devils! Touchdown Devils! Down go the Flyers! Down go the Flyers! The Liberty Bell has another crack in it! Rockies, not real! Marino is digging in the end zone and buries the Flyers next to Jimmy Hoffa! Are you ready, New Jersey?
Nice. How many
well
takes?
done.
How many takes did that take you?
Wow.
Oh, it was live
That's
in the
beautiful.
parking lot. It was live in the
Right.
parking lot, and
From section 2.
Yeah, from row 2.
yeah, road two,
Row 2.
road
in the heated
two.
section with his caviar and crab legs.
Yeah,
Old Geller to Rocky and Gritty. I love it. That might have been your best
Rocky's
one
not
ever.
real.
That might have been your
Rocky-
best
that was
one
just
ever.
one take, and I swear by it. It was one take.
That's amazing. No notes, just right off the old noggin.
Yep.
That was incredible.
Oh,
Hey,
he's
by the
gonna
way,
take Gritty out back and old yeller him.
we
I wish Gritty
We
was
gotta give
not the
props to,
Flyers mascot. I wish Gritty was not the Flyers mascot so I could love it, but I have to hate
last night him and NJ were hilarious. Like,
They were great
yeah.
last night.
They teamed up and
They
they
were
were great. Did you see when Gritty hit that dude in the face with the cake and then NJ hit him right in the nuts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A guy in a Ranger jersey and like Gritty threw a cake and it hit him right in the face, and NJ threw his a little low and it blasted the
Oh,
dude right in the nuts.
yeah.
It was
It would have
hilarious.
been great if that was Messier on live air.
Oh my god, that would have been hilarious. Yeah, that would have been, and it would have been a Gritty type of move.
That
Yeah, that
Ted.
was-
We
that
met
was great.
Ted yesterday too. Woo!
Yeah, Ted's our boy. What's up, Ted? I love that Bastion did the Tommy Cutlets, did the whole like this thing after he scored his goal.
That was pretty good.
And
That was pretty good.
that-
Vinny Priest was
that-
loving it.
Dude, I have to say that I'm really excited for him because he's been kind of like almost like a lost soul since his friend is no longer on the team, and it feels like his game was kind of just a little off. And seeing him score 2 goals last night, being the number 1 star, although probably could have gone to Nico Dawes, one of the 3 stars.
Nico Heischer was the number 1 star.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Bastion was the 3rd star. No, I think Bastion was 1st star.
No,
Double check that.
no,
Double check
it was Nico. It was Nico Tippett, and then Bastion was the 3rd. Nico Dawes.
Okay.
Should have been.
Should have
It
been.
was a 40,
Should have
been.
been.
45
star.
saves, especially that 17-minute section of the second period where the Flyers had about
25
20 shots on goal.
Yeah.
25
Oh my
shots on goal in the
gosh.
second period. They
Me
set
and
a
Short Guy were
record
just
for
looking at
most
each
shots
other
in the period.
like we were just looking at each other like this is like a recipe for disaster. Like we've
going
seen
the way
and then
Yankee
they scored
Stadium.
those 2 goals. Yeah. Then they scored
going
those
the
2
way
goals
Yankee
and it was like,
Stadium.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was. But Nate Bastion, I hope this is that little breakout that he needs, and he starts to get that confidence going into the second half of the season. There's approximately 27 games left, somewhere around that area, until the playoffs.
Mhm.
So we need him going. We need that 4th line to start clicking a little bit more. And guys like Jack Hughes, like he'll be fine. He'll figure it out. Like Timo Meyer too. Like Timo's been playing his game lately, where he's still getting points, he's still contributing, he's being physical again. I feel like he's finally starting to feel okay with himself. But Bastion and my brother and I had such a great conversation. So my brother, being out in Seattle, has kind of adopted the Kraken as his second team. And he's like, dude, when Bastion went out to Seattle, he was lost. It felt like he was like a boat without a rudder. And they put him on waivers with the intention of sending him down. Devils snatch him back up. He comes back to New Jersey and like kind of found his game again. Felt like last night was that game that he needed, like that sigh of relief. So hopefully that starts
I
to
feel like he's been
kickstart
playing
him.
better. I feel like,
Been playing-
honestly, since that other thing happened, I feel like he's been playing a lot better. I feel like him and Holtz there on the 4th line, like I feel like they've gotten some good chemistry where Bastion's able to just go and kind of like bang around and make some room. And Holtzy's been able to like, and now Noshik is back as well. But you were even seeing it with Chris Tierney. It was like, wow, this is a guy that we all thought would be like, kind of an AHL dude. And he was playing solid on that 4th line. He wasn't a liability out there. And now that Noshik is back, I feel like those 2 guys could go out and kind of bang a little bit. And then, you free up some space for Holtzy, who then you have to worry about as an opponent on that fourth line there. He can take advantage, and he's been finding those little those lanes here and there to get open. And I can't remember what it is, but I mean, what is it, like about 70% of the goals he's scored have been the first one in the game for the Devils. So that fourth line, I think, is kind of solidified themselves a little bit in the wake of all that turmoil and everything.
Yeah, and Holtz, I see a lot of guys commenting about Holtz last night, and that's something that needs to be figured out too. Like his playing time or whatever the beef is between Lindy. I still think he took Lindy's daughter on a date and never called her back or something like that. But there's just something going on, because there's no way. Like, it's because he throws the puck in the middle of the ice, and you're like, have you seen Kevin Ball lately? I mean,
yeah, exactly. Who had a couple other bad passes last night too in that game? Yeah, it's just like, oh man. Woof.
That one Flyers goal was just a complete meltdown too. Like, the puck was just like, here, can you guys just score a goal so your fans have something to cheer about? That's what it felt like.
I thought they played well, and yeah, I can't remember who just shouted this out. Was it? Yeah, there it is, Tom. I will never say anything bad about Brendan Smith ever again. Okay,
I've been him.
Trying to be positive about him in the year 2024. I know in 2023 I was pretty hypercritical of him, but I will be nothing but positives about Brendan Smith in this year. And I can't believe he got himself another goal last night. So good on you, Brendan Smith. Love what you bring to the team, buddy. Yeah,
second of the season.
Yeah. And did you hear what he said about the? Did you hear what he said about the fans after the game? He's embraced this team, and he's embraced the fans. He's like, I'm paraphrasing what he said, but essentially he was like, he was asked by a reporter, like, how was it last night, or how was it, seeing all these fans out here, and he goes, Jersey fans don't get enough credit. Like, look at how they came out. He's like, we felt them tonight. Like, they were the seventh man on the ice. He, like, as much hate as that dude has gotten from the fan base, and at points, yeah, rightfully so. There's been, it's not like he's been like the best player on the ice, but he seems to be one of the most genuine dudes on the team, like the most likable people. And Eric Holla being mic'd up for the game last night, I saw a couple clips about that. He's another dude. I love this team so much. We need to please make a push. When it comes to April, we better be making that. We're making a deep run here.
I mean, it seems like they are, and they're finally starting to get healthy too. And with Siegenthaler on the mend, now that you got Brendan Smith back as well, which brings a little bit more stability to that defense with his experience. Because what have we been talking about all year? This young defensive team. We don't have any teenagers anymore because Nemec just had his birthday the other day. So now we got two 20-year-olds back there. They still can't drink alcohol, but, at least they're not teenagers anymore. But with Brendan Smith, that's a lot of experience on that back line there. And if you get Siegenthaler back as well, that's even more, even though he's a young guy too, but he's still more experienced and has played those big minutes. And then, if we can get there, I mean, I think it's going to come down to the wire with us, because the division is so tight. Everything is so, neck and neck. And if we can sneak in and then maybe you get a Dougie Hamilton back in the playoffs again, he's not going to come back in midseason form. He's coming back after a long injury, but still the offensive side of that can make a big difference because, that's 70. What did he have? 77 points last year, something like 72, 77, something like that. That's a lot of offense taken off the table right there, with Dougie out of the lineup. Those are points and goals, that he puts up that could be extremely valuable to this team. Again, got to wait and see, but Smith back, Siegenthaler back, maybe you don't see as many of those mistakes that we have been witnessing in the last, 2 months or so since all these injuries really occurred. Yeah. Dawson Mercer can buy them a beer. Hey, guys. I went through it when I was younger. So let me buy a beer. And the two Nikos. I mean, what can you say? The captain leading the way out there. Nico Dawes in goal. And I know, Shorts Guy, we asked Chico about it, but I love the fact that they're giving him this run, that they're they're throwing him out there every game like this. And I feel like he's responded. Even in the Kings game that they lost, he played lights out in that Kings game. I mean, those 2 goals, the first one was no chance. You know, that funky bounce that went off, I think it was Luke's skate that, like, ricocheted back the opposite way.
Yeah, it was weird.
And then the second goal that Byfield had, you know, was just, I mean, that's just, whew, you know, that's a tough one to have to put on the goaltender. But he made, it had to be, they were in the high 30s for that game as well. The Kings were, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had a lot.
I have to look at the stats. Yeah.
Real quick too, I was looking down at I'm reading up through a lot of these comments, which are absolutely hilarious. I have to go back and read. Paul said, "I may or may not have ordered a Smith jersey while under the influence." I love that kind of purchase. That is a great kind of purchase.
Well, I hope you didn't order it through. I just hope you didn't order it through Fanatics, because it might come, you know, with a backwards number.
Who knows?
Wrong name. Yeah. You might get a, you know, number 2
if ever
each on the back, or ever. Yeah, it could be canceled. They canceled a lot of jerseys in this rollout too. So, yeah, good luck getting that jersey and getting it done right.
I ordered I was telling Shorts Guy, I ordered a sweatshirt on the 5th. The 5th, I think, still does not have a shipping date on it yet.
The NHL doing it right since whenever year they came in, 1901.
Yeah,
whenever the hell it was.
Exactly. But Brendan Smith, go for it. And you know what? I took a picture of this when I was at the game on Monday. You know, we're always talking about random jerseys, and this is a name that we have mentioned a couple times. I found an Eric Jelena jersey. Some guy was wearing one. Yeah,
there were a few of them. There were a few of them around the arena when he was playing for us. So,
yeah. Good for Brendan Smith.
He was one of those guys that was touted as being one of our next big defensemen, or people were excited about him.
He had that shot,
and
he's still playing too.
Did.
He's still playing somewhere. I follow him on social media. He's still playing somewhere. I forget where. It's somewhere. It may be somewhere in Europe.
Oh, in Europe. Okay.
Yeah, somewhere in Europe, but he's still playing somewhere. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, speaking of that shot, Colin Miller's been coming through with that rocket from the point, man. I didn't know that guy had so much a cannon on him, but when he gets a step into that, man, can he let it go.
He set the record for fastest in-game shot this year with like over 105 miles
an hour. Yeah.
I had no idea he could put that much barbecue on there. Woof.
I was just thinking about this as we were talking about everything. You could see the development of Luke Hughes is really coming along. Simone Nemec, same thing. But when Dougie gets ready to come back, who's coming out? So look at Siegenthaler. You would assume that Siegenthaler. Yeah, but you assume that Siegenthaler is taking over for Smith, right? So there's that.
I don't know about that.
I don't know either. That's the thing. So who comes out of the lineup? Would you pull
Brendan Smith out of the lineup right now? Over I don't think Luke is coming out. I think it's going to come down to Ball and Nemec, really, because I feel like those are the two that.
I don't think you can do either unless you move one of them, which might not be the best idea right now either.
It might come down to who. It might come down to which one of those two players is more easily sent back to Utica. Without having to do a waiver thing.
Yeah,
that's probably going to be. I mean, Nemec and Ball have made some mistakes that I've ranted about on this podcast before, and I've yelled at my TV constantly over those two. I think it's just going to come to of who is more easily able to be sent down to Utica versus anything else.
I think wasn't it Max that told us he broke his TV? I think Max told me he broke his TV.
Oh my god!
Some of these passes. So I gotta feel like those two are the the choice. And as Sports Guy was saying, Nemec, I mean, he should be able to go back down. He's not gonna have to go through waivers. I'm not sure about Kevin Ball, but yeah.
Yeah, and if they both have to go through waivers, I would say that Ball would be the one sent down if he's going to be sent down because
they're not. I don't think they're.
If Nemec went on waivers, holy crap, he would be snapped up quickly.
No, there's no way. I don't think they're waiver eligible. I think you can. I think you can just. You can put them down in the minors and bring it back up.
Both of them.
Either or, yeah. I don't think either of them are waiver eligible.
I don't know who's.
I could be wrong, but
I don't know who's the least of the human mistake machine right now. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they both have their upsides. I personally, they all do. I personally see, I don't know, some of these passes and mistakes I see by Kevin Ball, drive me a little crazy. Although I will say, the past maybe 4 to 5 games, he hasn't been so blatantly out of position. But then I feel like we talked about it with Chico, and then last night he had I'd say 2 or 3 more of those, what are you doing, dude? What? Why are you there? Why are you passing it right to the fly? What's going on? Had a couple more of those moments that seem to have dried up there for a little bit, but again, they're young defense, man. It's gonna happen.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm finally hitting a point where my brain is just I've emptied the whole cartridge of thought. And
Nico, both Nicos, absolutely amazing.
Both Nicos played great. Toffoli coming up big again.
Yep.
Toffoli, and as Vinny pointed out to the Flyer fans right in front of us, the guy who has the most goals in outdoor game history is Tyler Toffoli. Mm-hmm. So that's another one for the notch on the belt there. How many points? Nico had 3 points last night, I think? 2 goals and assist.
I believe so.
I think so, yeah.
Brendan Smith also, played really well.
It's a good night when Brendan Smith scores.
I'm super impressed with the 2 Nicos. Dawes is having that goaltending there, where you just really, really can say this guy's going to make that timely save. He made I'll tell you, I was nervous. Short Sky was nervous. Vinny's that second period. We were just what happened to this team? We're obviously Tortorella went in and he just reamed the Flyers and they came out.
Oh my gosh.
They came out with a fury in that second period, but the Devils just looked completely lost from the first period to the second period. And then, the last couple minutes of it, they salvaged it and were able to score and, go up. But man, Nico Dawes kept them in that game. Nico Dawes kept them in the Kings game as well. I've just been so impressed with his play, and especially on that stage, that young of a kid, getting thrown in there. Because this whole season, everyone was like, Akira Schmid. I don't think people were giving Nico Dawes that chance, and he's come in here.
He was also hurt. He was also hurt at the beginning of the year. So,
but even from last year, after the playoffs, everyone was like, myself included, was just Akira Schmid is the man. He came in and he.
And how many times have we done that with a young Devils goaltender or just a Devils goaltender in the last 14, 12 years, whatever it's been, since Brodeur left? We've and we talked about it yesterday. It was we went down the litany of all the goalies that we thought were going to be it, and it just we're doing it again. I just hope that finally one of them works.
Yep.
Well, we'll see what happens because we're going to have a game on Tuesday night again. So. We'll see what comes up. If I don't know if Vitek is going to be back. I don't know if Akira gets another start or does Nico go back out there for his. This would be his 5th or 6th game in a row.
Mm-hmm. I think you ride the hot hand. He's been playing lights out. You ride the hot hand.
Yeah, just the way he's been playing.
That's my
opinion. Vitek played the Carolina game, and then I think Nico Dawes has had every game since then. Yeah, it would be his 5th game.
So we'll see what they do. Right, man, he handled that spotlight like a champ.
Very well.
Like a champ there. Yeah. Love seeing it.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't sell the farm for Markstrom, please.
Nope.
No. So going into our final thoughts to the night, boys, I'm gonna lead off the play here and just say that it was an absolute pleasure. Sam Wu does not get enough credit for what he was able to do, all the gear that he was able to stuff into his van, where I took a ride with him to and from the game where I sat in my seat like this, like up against the windshield. I'm like, oh God, this is great, Sam. But no, joking aside, Sam, the incredible work and the amount of stuff that you do and the amount of stuff that you were able to pull off to do something like yesterday was unreal. Somebody like me who gets to be able to, I try to help out where I can, but you show up, we put these headsets on and then we just go because of everything you do. So thank you for that opportunity. And then
Thanks,
just
man.
all of our fans out there, like meeting everybody. Our good friend John came by. He had his his Devil's poncho thing on straight from Mexico. It was badass. And his buddy was there, who unfortunately was a Flyer fan, but that dude was cool as hell too.
Mm-hmm.
It was just such an amazing event from getting there at whatever time we got there, 1:00 until getting home at like 2 in the morning.
12:30.
12:30. Yeah, that was it couldn't have gone any better. So it was awesome hanging out with you, Scotty, all the way from the West Coast. My brother, Vinny Parisi, Nick Villano, Short Sky. It's always a damn pleasure to hang out with you, bud. But
Absolutely.
what a great time. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I'll go. Sam, thank you for everything. Putting this all together. Thank you to all the fans. A shout out to Justin and Jake for coming all the way from England.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Justin and Jake coming from England to hang out with us, not only yesterday, but also at the game, the LA game, and they even went to the outdoor game today. And Justin was telling me that the atmosphere was just like night and day from yesterday to today. So yeah, shout out to Justin and Jake and everyone else that was there. Thank you for coming out. Yesterday was just I knew it was going to be a long day, and I knew it was going to be a cold day, but it was a lot of fun. So thank you to you guys. This just was a lot of fun. It was great to have everybody on the podcast crew in one place at the same time, in person, no one virtual. It was so cool to finally have that moment. And I hope that we got some picture of it because I think we did, but I feel like we may have missed an opportunity there. But yeah, it was really cool.
Katie has it.
Katie has it?
I had her.
All right, cool.
There's only one.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
it was great to meet Vinny in person this week after being on Game Day Live with him for forever at this point, over a year now. So it was cool to meet him and Katie in person. Scotty, as always, great to see you. Beer Baron, as always.
As always, bud.
Love to see the tarp come off.
Always. That might be a new thing. And by the way, also shout out to
tarp?
Novo.
Is that a tarp? No, it's
Supernova.
We met a lot of people
We got
yesterday.
to hang out with Novo and even Greg Wyszynski kind of gave us a quasi shout out on Twitter today, which was pretty badass.
Yeah.
He's like, best paid tailgating was so much part of New Jersey fans' culture before the move to Newark. Lots of grills, fans, cornhole flags, podcasting with an exclamation point, and there was a picture of us, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done. Sorry.
All you.
Sorry.
Got
Okay,
it.
all right. I just want to make sure. I didn't know if the tarp was going to come off there to end things.
There it goes.
No, I'm just going to echo what these guys said over here. It was a big day for family with this crew. We all got together, and thank you, Sam, for everything you do behind the scenes, for setting up, breaking down, putting my sister to work. So good on you for that. I started rolling up wires and everything like that when I finally made it out of the stadium. You can use a little help picking out tickets, but, that's neither here nor there. Being Short Sky will assist you on that,
Yes.
moving forward. But
you're not allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah, I was super impressed. Just in our personal texts, Sam was like, we got a trailer. I'm losing the trailer. We're gonna have this. Nah, we're not gonna have that. We're gonna have this. And I was going in. I was like, oh man, I don't know what's gonna go on. And I showed up, and it just looked so great, so professional, so well done. And I just want to thank you, Sam, Shorts Guy, Beer Baron, of course, Vinny, Nick Villano, the entire crew, and everyone that we got to hang out with. It was so nice. Being out here in LA, I don't get to see everyone all the time. So it was great to put so many faces with so many screen names. I really do appreciate it. And thank you for all the love, everyone. And like we said to you, you are the ones that make this podcast so special.
Yes.
Like We do this all the time. We just talk about the team, but like having you and your feedback and your jokes and your good stuff, like that's what we really, that's what really takes this.
Super chat.
Oh, we got a super. Hey, and there's Max. Woo! And yeah, where's Cornhole? Anyone seen Cornhole? He never showed up since last season, so no one knows what the hell happened to old Cornhole over there. But yeah, no, thank you everyone for coming out and making it a really awesome day, and for everyone that got lost, because I know we were supposed to be in M2 there, and then Sam got unfortunately moved after he set everything up, and they were like, "Oh yeah, bring it down, you get out of here, pal." So kudos. That's something I don't know if it was mentioned before I came on because I was having some internet issues here. Kudos to you, Sam, for not only setting up once but twice during this set up and breakdown twice. During this day, that's a total of 4 right there. I don't know how many people would just be like, do that. I see others be like, "Oh, the hell with it. We're just not going to do it. They kicked us out of the spot." No, not Sam Woo. Where there's a woo, there's a way. And Sam Woo through.
I like it.
Thank you.
And he, because you know why? Because Rocky's not real, and we old yellered Gritty behind the barn. So thank you, everyone. It was an amazing night.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys. It was actually a team effort. It really was, because anytime there was a problem, somebody in our group stepped up, and even our fans did as well.
I try to do as little as possible. I don't know.
You couldn't even get the subs cut,
He's a talent. Talent with the uncut sub.
Yep.
No, seriously, it was a great team effort. Everybody pitched in their own way, and it was extremely helpful. And from time to time, it got very, very frustrating yesterday, from start to finish. There were behind the scenes, and we talked about on this podcast to give you a little glimpse of it. But what drives us is the fans. We had guests that were pre-scheduled. They were even gracious to kind of delay the schedule so we could do the second setup. Ryan Nowozinski, James Nichols, Sam Kassan of New Jersey Devils. Arlette came. She went to 5 parking lots before she found us. And Chico, who we were right in front of him, but somehow he didn't realize it was us. He had a great time.
Oh, Felix.
Yes.
We forgot to mention Felix, too, at the end.
Yeah. So
Pollock, Insane Pollock.
Yeah, we met a lot of people, and the food, and it was just, we were all sharing.
That was the best part.
That was part, like, when we were planning this, it all came down to, were we going to cater it, were we not? And it all came down to, it's a tailgate. Let's not commercialize it. And it was really awesome to have a community, tailgate where everybody just showed up and just had fun and, did their thing. So, with us. So, I want to thank everybody there, and go to joinourcrew.com because we're going to have more events in the future. But one last thing, and I didn't tell this story, but I wore, I went in late to the game because I got my ticket, and I forgot that I wore the podcast jersey. And I had a lot of people that either high-fived, shook my hand, called out my name. But as I'm walking down to row 2, guys, I could have sworn I heard somebody yell, "The Woo Report! The Woo Report!" as I'm going down. And it was so cool because you're going to your seat, and you're in this gigantic stadium with a giant Let's Go Devils podcast jersey. It was kind of cool to hear that, in the middle as I'm walking down to row 2.
I guess that's what happens in those seats. Let me tell you what happened up in Everest. People's mouths froze before they got any words out of their mouths, Sam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, where the
Billy
rabble
goat jump off your head. And
yeah. The rabble weren't as nice.
Scotty, you should have known when your ticket said Namaste at the top of it that you were going to be in trouble. And half of it was Yeah, half of it was written in Tibetan with instructions on how to use climbing equipment.
We had to sign a waiver before getting to our seats. It was so high in elevation.
Shorts guy high-fived the pilot as he did the flyover. That didn't happen last time.
Yeah. Yep. Did those pull-ups on the helicopter, though.
Yeah, they didn't do the flyover last time, but they did it today, which whatever. It's okay. It's okay.
All right. Well, we'll have Game Day Live and Devils After Dark on Tuesday. Some Woo reports and State of the Fan address sprinkled in. And then Thursday at American Whiskey, Devils Rangers. I'll be there. Frank's talking about an outdoor podcast, big stage. I don't know what he's talking about, but we'll talk about it a little later. Till next time, let's go Devils.